So now it discuss no detention policy. Okay, it is important. So we can start it. So my name is Vir Kumar Dakwa. So it is me. I completed with this MSc from Vidyasagar University. So, so you can see me. So first of all, no detention policy. Here you can see right to education is the important thing. Right to education. Okay, right to education, and here you write the right of children to free and compulsory education act. It is important act. So it is passed in the year 2009, and here important things is all the children who are come under the age group of 6 to 14, they must complete their complete their education. 6 to 14 years. Okay, they must be completed their compulsory education. Okay, it is come under article 21. Okay, where education is the important thing, so where all children must have the right right to compulsory education. Okay, so we can ensure that it is important act. And here the important things is all about this the RTE Act. Okay, it guarantees free and compulsory education at a neighborhood school to children in the age group of 6 to 14. Okay, so class 1 to class 8. It applies to all states except Jammu and Kashmir. Okay, it was passed in the by the Parliament on August 6, 2009, and come into effect on April 1st, 2010. Okay, it is effect in on April 1, 2010. So, but passed by Parliament 2009. With passage of the Act, India became one of the 135 countries in the world that makes education the fundamental rights of every child. Okay, education is the fundamental rights of every child in India. India became the one of the 135 countries in the world. Okay, we have the Act. The Act also provides 25% reservation in private schools for poor and weaker sections or economically weaker sections of the society's children. Okay, so it prohibits all unrecognized schools from practice given them 3 years to meet basic standards defined under the Act, and makes provisions for no detention or capitation fees and no interview of the child or parent for admission. So it provides that no child shall be held back, expelled, or required to pass a board examination until the completion of elementary education. So here you can see all the things we discuss it. Okay, so here you can see the important things, because all our children now they also not to completed their education because they are poor. They are not to come under the societies because their parents are not well educated. So for we can because our government policy is important, so we can stop them from the we can give education, free and compulsory education, and we can continue to come back our society, and they also contribute to our society. Okay, we can ensure it. So for it is important because our India is the only important big country where 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 right to education is the important things, because some societies people they also not to not to to get compulsory education because lack of infrastructure facility, lack of policy. Okay, so before 2009 it is the one important problem, but now it is not problem. But yeah, it is problem in the present time. If it's in some of the rural backgrounds, and they where people are not well educated person, they must be now survive now. Okay, so here important things you can see that the essential of the policy is that children should not be failed. Here the detained up to class 8. So here important things pass and fail the important things, because before in the present circumstances if we say some our West Bengal boards, there you can see that compulsory you can see the people are also now all there is not any fail things. Okay, all are pass. So it is not good for the education, any education system. So for here examination is not examination. What is examination? So here examination is not perfect. So here you can see the important event now you can see. So it is one of the threat to the society. Especially it affects our education systems. Okay, so the Act mandates the process of continuous and comprehensive evaluation to access and evaluate the students' learning. Students' learning is the important things all the time. So usually, one of the important things is the feedback of the teaching learning process is the important things. If we are not to not to sin, because quality is the important all the time. Because if we not to sin, not to take quality teacher, then it will be affect our students learning process. Okay, and we cannot not understood what is the outcomes from the students learning process. Okay, so research evidence across the world suggests that such methods called formative assessment tend to improve the students learning process. Okay, so all are tells that improve we can improve our student learning process. Okay, so here important thing is the policy has led to students developing a lack additional attitude, okay, towards their studies. Okay, so parents are also did not bother of as their children cannot be held back in this class. This has reduced the quality of education and has led to no difference between good and bad students. So here you can see that if our parents are not to know that what is the education and how to we can be take it, okay, how our child can take it. So but or politicals local politicals I think local political leaders they can help them, okay, and they must help them, and their child must go to the school. Okay, so it is important things. And here you can see the recently appointed TSR Subramanian committee has recommended that no detention policy must be continued for young children until completion of class 6, when the child will be 11 years old. Okay, so TSR Subramaniam committee is recommended that the no detention policy must be continued for young children. So here important things it is, okay. In upper primary stage, the system of detention shall be restored as subject to the provisions, be remedial coaching, and at least two extra changes being offered to prove his capability to move to a higher education systems. So I think important things is the government's policy, the important things all the time. So our poor students, our vulnerable students, they are also suffered to this system. So I think if the government should focus this type of approach, that's how to we improve the quality of education, and which and how to people, so poor peoples and especially vulnerable people, they also come and join these education systems. Then I think it will be important things for India, and we can improve our literacy rate, we can improve our quality education, we can improve our student learning process, and quality teacher is the important things here. And some of the other factors are are also important to improve our education systems and to stop dropout. Okay, so important things. So thank you, friends. I think it will help to you.